Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? It's actually kind of early for me to be vlogging. It is 5:41 p.m. and I just got done with my drama video and it is rendering, and I'm gonna go start uploading it here in just a second when it gets done. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna film that and this vlog. I may film a Peterisms video, I'm not sure. Alex is gonna be home here in just a little bit. He had to work until 6, so yeah, and then after that he'll be home. So I was trying to get the vlog done a little bit earlier today. Is that Boo Radley that I hear walking upstairs? He's been down in his house today a lot. But I was trying to get the vlog done earlier today so that when he comes home, because it's like cold outside, I can't sit outside tonight. So anyway, I had forgotten earlier to have my athletic greens when I got up today. So I just made this. So what you do is you put one, I haven't tried it yet, you put 1 scoop of the powder, and this is the shaker that you get with it. And then it has on here like how much you fill it up with. I was like, I didn't understand this box that I got with it. And it's like these travel packs. So if you're gonna go somewhere, if you're gonna stay somewhere like overnight or for the weekend, it has these packets that come with it that you can like take for the weekend or whatever, which I think is kind of cool, you know? So anyway, like I would maybe buy some of those like if I went on vacation, just to like get up every morning and feel really good, if I end up liking it. So I haven't tried this. Now I've heard really mixed reviews. I've heard that people are like, this one guy that I watch, like friends of ours like know him and are friends with him, and that's how I originally got started watching. He and his boyfriend at the time, it's Mark Miller, and his boyfriend is was Ethan Heathcote, and they're both from Indiana. One went to Ball State, Mark went to Ball State, and Ethan went to IU. And so I started watching their videos like years ago. Then they've since broken up. They moved to California, then they moved to Nashville, and they've since broken up. I kind of stopped watching them for several years, and then one of Mark's videos recently popped up, I don't know, recently, 6 months ago, and he's moved back to Indianapolis. I actually think he lives like really close to us, just based on like where he goes, and just when you live in a, like, I mean, Indianapolis is not that big of a town, so when you live in a town like this, you kind of like, you know. But anyway, but he, like, literally every single video he makes is sponsored by Athletic Greens, but I really think that he uses them and enjoys them. So I was like, okay, and so I was like, I'm gonna get on here and I'm gonna try this. And I had actually seen a couple Instagram posts about it from people. I'd seen some other YouTubers. I can't remember the other person. It was like a nutritional person. Because I do watch some like nutrition people, like, you know, people that are on like weight loss journeys. Like I like to watch those videos as well. And one of them had been doing the Athletic Greens, and they really enjoyed it too. And both that person, I can't remember who that person is. That person and Mark, and it's not like a weight loss drink or anything like that. It's just like a daily source of vitamins. But that person and Mark both said it tastes really good. Now I have heard in talking about videos, I've gotten comments from people that have said it's really nasty and they don't like it. I would tell you that the smell of it, but I will say the shaker is really nice. It's like this, it's not metal, but it's nice. It smells like matcha powder, which I love, like matcha green tea. I love anything like that. So if that's what it tastes like, I'll be fine with that. And then it also, I got on the website to look at like how to use it, and like, because I was wanting to make sure I did it exactly right, and it had like different ingredients, and one of them is like coconut water. It's called like the Refresher or something, and I thought, oh, that's kind of fun, so I could get some coconut water and do that. And then another one is like a ginger juice, and you put like a little bit of like ginger root in it or something like that, and another one's like pineapple, and they're still like super healthy, but like it's just different ways to have it in the morning. So here we go. Now this is not my review. I'm gonna do the review after trying it for a week, but I do wanna, oh, it smells fruitier than I thought it would be. It smells fruity, but it still has that kind of like, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but if you've eaten, like, I swear, like, in my life, I've drank so many protein shakes. Like, I used to drink those things like crazy when I worked out. I used to drink them a lot, and I didn't hate them, but, like, sometimes, like, if you drink them enough, they kind of, like, really, I don't know, they kind of make you gag a little bit. They all kind of have that smell underneath it, if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's try this. It's not horrible. No, not at all. Like, I mean, it's sweet. And it tastes like matcha, but it tastes kind of like there might be like apple or some kind of fruit in it. Maybe pineapple? It actually kind of tastes kind of watered down, which is interesting because you can see that it's not watered down. And I put in the exact amount of water, 8 ounces of water that you're supposed to put. I want to instantly start feeling better is what I feel. I was reading this article last night. I don't even know how it came up. So this is me just throwing this out there in the universe. I don't know if like you guys are like this or not, or you just like kind of like find stuff, but anyway. I was looking at this thing last night and it was talking about binge eating disorder, which I guess is called BED, and I don't really know anything about it. Like, I mean, I knew that binge eating was a thing, but I didn't know that it was like a diagnosable like eating disorder. And I started reading this article, and then I went and I looked up some like medical articles on reputable sites. And it was interesting in talking about like the symptoms that are associated with binge eating disorder. And it's like eating at very odd hour or odd times, only eating 1 meal a day. But when you eat that, you know, you eat to the point of like being too full and then you continue to eat. There were like 10 symptoms, and I would say like out of the 10, in all honesty, I had like 8 of them. And then it went in and like this one article was like, I don't know, it was from, I can't remember what medical website it was from, but like some reputable hospital. And it was talking about like family history. And I was like, you know, this is so interesting because like my mom and I never talked about this, but my mom kind of ate in a very similar manner. And like she would eat to the point of like being so full she almost couldn't move. And she would say like, I'm uncomfortably full. And, or like I would call her, I've said this on here before, I would call her and she would like have bought in like a gallon of ice cream from the, you know, from the grocery store because it was like 99 cents or whatever. And then she would like eat the whole gallon just like sitting there watching a movie, you know, or whatever. And then she'd be like, I feel like I'm going to be sick. Like I'm so sick to myself. And then there were other things on there, you know, like hiding food wrappers and which I in the past, I have done that, you know, before. I think even from myself, I don't know, like just out of embarrassment. And then it talked about the embarrassment and the shame associated with it. It talked about being fixated on losing weight and weight loss and whatever. And it really was like saying, don't diet, like don't do any kind of diets. Like you need to change and be like all healthy eating and being active and things like that. And so like it really hit me hard. And I mean, I was reading all of these articles last night. I don't know if you've ever read something when, and I'm not self-diagnosing because I have an appointment with my therapist on Wednesday, and so I want to talk to him about it. But I don't know if you've ever read anything before where you're like, oh my God, this is me. Like, this is me, you know? And it even talked about people that have, like, it's sometimes diagnosed later in life. People that have a history with addiction are sometimes people that have binge eating disorder. All of these things. Emotional eating is, like, they define it as emotional eating. Like, binge eaters define their eating as emotional eating when it's sometimes not that. They stress eat, all this kind of stuff. They eat like certain things that they eat, like, you know, are like high sugars and things like that. I was like, oh my, like every single one of these things was like check, 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 check. And like it was this kind of this dichotomy that I felt. I was like, I don't know. I would be interested to know if any of you out there have ever been diagnosed with binge eating disorder. I don't want to like go all in on it until I talk to my therapist and see what he has to say about it. I mean, we've talked about my eating issues and my food issues in the past, but we haven't like specifically talked about anything like that, and he's never brought it up. So I want to bring it up to him because he has a big history in working with eating disorders. And so I do want to talk to him about that. And it was interesting, like when you talked about the treatment, like there's medical treatment to it, which one of the drugs is Vyvanse, which is for ADHD. I don't want to go on any medication for it. I mean, if it would absolutely, like if the doctors were like, you have to be on this or, you know, whatever, I would do that, but I don't really want to be on any more medication. But so when it talked about like working on it from a cognitive behavioral point of view, it talked about like talk therapy, which is what I'm in. And then it talked about how like when you're having those moments where you're thinking about like how bad you want to eat or whatever, to, you know, focus on the fact that that's not really what you want in the long run. And, you know, this whole kind of like talking yourself out of it mentality and things like that, which is so interesting because that's like everything opposite that I know from recovery, if that makes sense. But I read this article and then these other articles, and I just was like, it was like, okay, on one side, it was kind of like, really, it made me sad because I was like, here's another thing that is this it? Like, is this what I've been struggling with, like, for so long? And then on the other side of it, like, I was like, oh my God, this totally makes sense, you know? Like, okay, if this is my way of understanding what is going on with why I eat the way that I do and why, you know, all this kind of stuff, then if there's a way for me to treat it and, you know, have successful treatment and talking to my therapist about it and doing cognitive behavioral therapy with it and all that kind of stuff, then I'm all in. Like, let's talk about this because it makes so much sense. And like I said, I don't want to self-diagnose. So I am going to talk to my, hold on a second, I need to go over here to the computer for a second. I am going to talk to my therapist about it when I meet with him on Wednesday because, like, I'm not big on self-diagnosing and running with something, you know what I mean? Okay, where is... I gotta upload this. Start uploading this drama video. Last night, what did we do? Oh, so when I got all my stuff done last night, Alex and I watched that new movie that came out on Amazon Prime with Jennifer Lopez and I can't pronounce his name, Josh Duhamel. I don't know how, very handsome, and Jennifer Coolidge. I swear to God, and Cheech Moran or whatever his name is from Cheech and Chong. I love him. I could watch Jennifer Coolidge, like I could just watch an entire movie of her doing nothing. Like I just think she is so funny. And so it was called Shotgun Wedding. It was actually really cute. Both my friend Valerie and Tanya were like, how long is J-Lo gonna play a bride? Like, she does all these bride roles and stuff like that. But it was cute. I went into it not knowing anything about it. So if you've watched the trailer, I guess, because Alex is like, yeah, it was all in the trailer. Did you not know that? And I was like, no, I didn't watch it. I don't remember watching the trailer. But so apparently it was all in the trailer. I thought the movie was really cute. So we watched that last night, and then Alex was like exhausted. So he went to bed after that, and then I stayed up. I think we finished at about 11:30 or something like that. And then I talked to Tanya on the phone. And then I talked to Valerie last night too for a long time. And then, well, not a long time, but I talked to Valerie on the phone. But anyway, and then I watched The Last of Us, the newest episode. I mean, you guys, that show is just so beautifully done. It reminds me of some other show, and I can't remember like what show it reminds me of. Like at first it was like, it kind of reminded me of The Walking Dead. I'll tell you what it does remind me of, is it reminds me of The Road, which is by, I think it's by, I think it's by, oh, I was watching a bunch of Christina Randall videos last night too. Bunch of Christina Randall true crime videos. The movie The Road, that was based on the book by Cormac McCarthy. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The book was fantastic. It's like one of my favorite books, but the movie was really, really good too. When Alex calls in a second, I'm gonna have to go over to the computer and answer it because I can't, oh shoot, hold on. Because I can't. answer it on the phone because I'm uploading that video on the phone. But just like the way it's shot and everything like that reminds me of The Road a little bit. And so yeah. I'm not usually affected by caffeine when I drink it late at night. It's so funny because like whenever I say something in a video, I'm kind of at the point where I know, like, if I say something like, well, my favorite ice cream is Ben & Jerry's, and this is the kind I like, that will be like the comment that gets like, that will be like the thing I say in the video that gets like the most comments. I don't know how, but like at this point from vlogging, like I kind of know the thing that will get a lot of comments. So I have a feeling when I say this, I'll probably get a lot of comments from it. Well, a lot of people will probably comment about the binge eating disorder, but and feel free to share your experience below. I would love to hear it. But what was I gonna say? I, in the past, could literally like drink a cup of coffee and go to bed. Like the caffeine never affected me. So yesterday I got up, and when Alex was at his birthday party, I made a cup of coffee, a large cup of coffee, and I drank it over probably the period of like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I don't even think I finished it. Then Alex and I went to the grocery store, and then I went to Starbucks and I got a venti brown sugar oat milk shake and espresso. I think that was all the caffeine that I had yesterday, and I kind of finished that over the course of about 3 or 4 hours. Last night, you guys, I could not sleep to save my life. I mean, I was like alert. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not drinking caffeine like that again. Like I'm allowing myself to have, going forward for a while, we're gonna do 1 cup of coffee a day. Or if I'm gonna have a fountain pop later in the night, like I'm not gonna have any coffee during the day or something like that. Because I mean, I was like up last night, like I could not sleep. And I watched this episode of The Last of Us. And then I watched 2 episodes of what's that show called? Little Fires Everywhere. It's like really dragging for me. I mean, it's not dragging like bad, like it's a really great show. But I feel like so much happens in every episode. And Kerry Washington and Reese Witherspoon are just absolutely fantastic in it. I mean, and the people that play the kids, or the actors that play the kids, and Joshua Jackson, everybody. I mean, everybody is so good in this show. I, for the life of me, do not remember reading this book. I know I read the book. I know I did. But I don't remember reading the book at all. So, which has now become like a joke between Alex and I. Because he hears me say that. He hears me say like, I don't remember like reading this book or whatever, like when I'm filming videos. And so when I'm talking to him about a book, he'll be like, well, do you remember reading it? And I'm like, listen, Linda. Yeah, this isn't bad. I could do this every morning. I was reading the frequently asked questions, and somebody on there said, I mean, it's supposed to be for somebody that's active, so that's going to have to start here real soon, right? I mean, it's not like you just sit in a chair all day long and like the nutrients. I mean, it's not like it's going to hurt me. It'll help me, right? But somebody said, like, how long do you like start noticing results? And it said something like, I don't know, a couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks or something like that. It's not bad. It tastes like matcha powder with something a little fruity in it. It's how it tastes. So I'm gonna keep it up. I like it. The only thing I've ever done that I like really... Is that my husband calling? The only thing that I've ever done that like I really struggled doing, and I don't even really remember who told me to do this, was I did a shot of apple cider vinegar. I keep on hearing things that sound like the phone. I did a shot of apple cider vinegar like every day because somebody told me that you should do that for like good skin or something like that. That was nasty. I did that for about a week and then I stopped that. I don't know. And this was funny because my friend Valerie, she just brought this up not too long ago, but it was something different that she was talking about. My ex and I, we did that thing where you take the coconut and you put it in your mouth and you're supposed, it's called pulling, the oil pull, you know, whatever. That was nasty. And then the other thing is lemon and cayenne powder and is it water? and you're supposed to drink it, and it's supposed to help you like lose weight and all that kind of stuff. That is really nasty. That is really, really nasty. And I saw somebody comment about that on a video of mine. I think it was like just yesterday on that Peter Does Stuff video where I was trying to like show my healthy grocery store stuff. And they were like, yeah, I'm trying to drink more lemon water and so is my husband or something like that, lemon and cayenne. And I was like, good luck, that's hard. My ex and I one time, well, first of all, I've done every diet in the entire world. And I remember my ex said, he said, I remember us talking one time about diets, and I said, do you think that diets really work? And he said, oh yeah, absolutely, I think every diet works. He goes, the problem is, as soon as you get off the diet, you gain all your weight back. And he goes, it's not healthy living is what it is. It's all diets are meant to just lose weight quickly for a short period of time, and it's not healthy to your body at all. But we were always like so obsessed with like losing like a lot of weight and whatever. And I remember we did this diet one time. Oh my God. I mean, we tried every diet. We tried, honest to God, the best diet that I've ever been on, which I don't even know that I consider a diet, but it's the longest I've ever done something other than just eat healthy and work out. And there have been long periods in my life, like years, where I've just like eaten healthy and worked out, and I was like really like in shape and low weight and things like that. And that's really honestly what I need to do. But the healthiest I've ever been, or the longest I've ever been on a diet was when I did Weight Watchers. And I mean, I was really, and I know it's different today, but I was really into the counting of the points, and I had the calculator, and I mean, I was rigid with it. And I can remember we would make green beans for dinner every night, because you could have green beans, as many green beans as you wanted. They were like 0 points, and I was like really, really rigid with all of that Weight Watcher stuff, and I lost quite a bit of weight. I can remember like some weeks I would lose like 6 pounds, and other weeks I would lose like a 0.5 pound, and I never got fixated like really on the weight I got, because I felt like I was constantly like on this journey growing, you know. And the other thing that was cool was the place that I weighed in at, the Weight Watchers place. One time that I did it, we did this like biggest loser contest at the place, the treatment program that I worked at, and right next to the Weight Watchers place, they had this like Weight Watchers deli, and that like it was just like this local place that somebody had made on their own. And you could go in there and they would have like sandwiches, and it would say how many points they were on it, or like a piece of carrot cake and it would say how many points on it. So you could like buy stuff, like it was like a deli. I also used to use that woman's website, and she also started a YouTube. Her website is still up because I looked not too long ago. I think it's called Debbie's Weight Loss Zone. I know that she passed away, which is so sad. She put together this immense website, which would have like a piece of pizza on there from Papa John's. It would say like a piece of pepperoni pizza from Papa John's, and it would tell you how many points. Like, I mean, it had everything on there for any restaurant in the world. It was like amazing, and we really used that a lot. But yeah, I did Weight Watchers for a really long time, and I think I got down from like, at that point, I was like 220, and I got down to like 170, and I stayed pretty low for like, I don't know, 6 months to a year, and then I progressively started putting the weight back on again. And that's what always happened. But anyway, this one time, except for the times that I have been working out and being active and eating healthy, and in those times, I do well for years on end, you know, and that's just where I need to get back to. But anyway, this one time, I don't even know where we heard about this. I think it was from our friends, his 2 old roommates. We heard about this diet called the cabbage soup diet. And it's like you make this huge pot of cabbage soup, which first of all, let me just tell you, stinks up your entire house. And it's basically just like cabbage soup and tons of pepper. And that's it. And I don't even remember what else is in it, but it's like you make this huge pot, right? And you can have as much cabbage soup as you want, but that's all you can have. But that you can have as much of it as you want. I mean, you could have 20 bowls a day if you wanted, but that's all you can have. It is so bad, you guys. I mean, you're literally, I mean, no TMI, but you're on the toilet like 24 hours a day. It's bad. And, God, we did so many different diets. Unless the diets were real complicated and you had to read them and stuff like that. I remember we wanted to do Weight Watchers, but we didn't want to sign up for Weight Watchers, but we wanted the calculators. And so we got on like eBay. God, this is like 25 years ago or something. We got on like eBay and like bought the calculators on eBay. But then I ended up signing up for Weight Watchers anyway. I feel like everybody that I've known that's done Weight Watchers has been real successful. I think Weight Watchers is one of the only ones out there that I think that, you know, is, I guess I've known people that have done Nutrisystem that have been healthy too, or that are healthy too, that have done well. And then I also know people that have like gone to their doctors and, like done like, you know, had like, this is what you need to eat nutritionally and things like that. So I feel like if I could figure out what's going on with my mindset with food, which I feel like I've talked about with my sponsor, and I've talked about it with both therapists now, like for a very long time, but like maybe this will make, I don't know, maybe this, even if this isn't the thing, even if it's not this binge eating disorder, maybe this will open up to something else. If I could figure that out, and then I could also, oh, my leg is cramping, and then I could also start eating healthier, and then I could, ooh, Charlie horse. Do you know what you're supposed to do when you get a Charlie horse? You're supposed to put your like leg out like this. Alex taught me that. It does, it takes it away really quick. But see, it went right away. If I could start eating healthier and then also start being active, like just even, you know, like I said I was gonna start walking, and yet here I am, I still haven't started walking. And maybe I'll do that tonight. Maybe I'll put on my coat and I'll go walk for half an hour and listen to my audiobook. You know, and then just figure out what's going on with my mindset of food and eating and things like that. Hopefully maybe I can come up with a plan and battle this. I'm hopeful about it, you know what I mean? But all of these things that I've ever done don't really work. Like I think about, like somebody said for me, or somebody said in the comment section something about counting calories. I can't remember if they said it worked for them or it didn't work for them. But like I've done counting calories a lot, and it has worked for me for a short period of time. But here's the thing, like when I think back to like when I was the happiest was when I would come home from work. Okay, this is when like, for breakfast, I wouldn't really eat anything. And if I did, it was like, I don't know, like a whole grain bar or something like that. And then for lunch, this was before I was a vegetarian. Before I was a vegetarian, I want to make that clear. So for lunch, I would eat a small can of tuna fish, and which is weird because, oh, there's Mr. Boo Radley. Hi, honey. And tuna is like one of the only fishes that I could, it's like one of the only fish that I would ever eat, besides crab meat rangoon and shrimp. And then I would eat a small can of tuna fish, and then I would eat, what do you call it, 2 saltine crackers, and I was very dedicated and committed to this. And then I would have like a small can of the low sodium V8 juice. And then for dinner, and I would come home, and I would go work, I feel like I would take a nap, and then I would go work out, and I would like work out hard, like for 2 hours. I would like do an hour of cardio. I can remember I went to the gym in my apartment, and I would like run on the treadmill for like an hour. Actually, Alex and I were watching I Know What You Did Last Summer the other night. Come here, sweetheart. You wanna come up here? Come here, honey. We were watching I Know What You Did Last Summer the other night. It was on TV. Yeah, say hi, honey. You wanna say hi to everybody? He said, hi, everybody. And I was telling him, I said, you know, this used to always be on in the gym when I would go work out. And I can just remember, like, every night it would be on, like, on some channel. It was so weird, or I don't know. They must have been running it a lot back then. But I would run on the treadmill for, like, an hour, and then I would lift weights for, like, another hour. And then I would come home, and I had this veggie steamer with rice, and I would put whole grain rice at the top, and then vegetables, mixed vegetables on the bottom. Didn't put butter or salt or anything on them. And then I would get these 2 things of chicken breasts, and it was just like these small chicken breasts like this, but they were already pre-cooked, and all you had to do was put them in the microwave for 90 seconds or something like that. And I put them in the microwave, and then I would eat them with all this, a huge glass of milk. Don't ask me why. I think I also drank like a protein shake right when I got home. That's what I would drink, like as like my post-workout. And then I would have a peanut butter sandwich. And it was literally, I ate almost the exact same thing every night. And I mean, I got to the point where like I lost a lot of weight, but I also at some point like I kind of plateaued, and I was fine with it, you know? And then it was just like, I wasn't super muscular or anything like that, but I was to the point where like I felt good about, you know, how I looked. And so I didn't want to lose a ton more weight or anything like that. I think at that point I was like, I don't know, I think it was like 175, something like that, 180, and it stopped. And I felt good about myself, you know? And, but I also physically felt good on a regular basis. So I'm just gonna have to figure out how to do that and how to transition that or translate that into being a vegetarian. Like, okay, now I'm a vegetarian, so it's not, I'm not gonna do the 2 chicken breasts, but there's no reason why I couldn't do the rice, you know, or some kind of like whole grain with like, and even maybe not that, because that's not super healthy, you know, with steamed vegetables. I could still eat a peanut butter sandwich, you know, if I was like working out and doing stuff, or at least half of one. I don't know, I think it was kind of like the mix of all of it to me together. So, we'll see. What do you think, boobs? I also think the difference then was, and like so many people say this in my videos, but I mean, this is something I've known for a long time, that I ate to live. I didn't live to eat. Like I wasn't hyper consumed with eating, if that makes sense. Like I wasn't super consumed with all this kind of stuff. And at that same time, I have to tell you, you know, I would go out on weekends. I would go out to dinner like at least once a week, twice a week maybe with friends, but once a week probably with friends. And then I can remember on the weekends, like after going out, my friend and I, we would go to this place called Peppy Grill, which no longer exists, in Fountain Square in Indianapolis. And I would get like an omelet with like, you know, like sausage links and bacon. And I would get a, yeah, Boo Radley, all of that. And I would get hash browns smothered and covered, which means cheese and gravy. And it was so delicious. Maybe I got biscuits and gravy, I don't remember. But anyway, I mean, it wasn't like I never ate crap. Like I did, you know. I just didn't eat crap the way that I eat crap now. So, what do you want to do tonight, huh? You don't know? Tomorrow night's my meeting night. Tomorrow night's my meeting night. So maybe tonight we'll just relax. You already had your late lunch, didn't you? Did you eat any of it? Did you eat your dinner? You did? You're so sweet. What are you doing, huh? Come here. What's that on your lip? He needs a haircut, but we're gonna wait until it gets warmer outside and let him keep his winter coat. That's what we've decided. He doesn't seem to mind it. Oh my God, so I couldn't sleep this morning, right? And so I was tossing and turning in bed, and I fell asleep for like an hour, and then like I woke back up, and it was like, I don't know, like almost 9 o'clock or something like that. So I went outside for a second because I wanted to see, like, or I took him outside for a second and I wanted to see like how cold it was. And it started snowing. And we've had snow on the ground all day. It was so pretty. I couldn't believe it. I was so excited. Yeah. We had snow, didn't we? It was beautiful. Can you believe that tomorrow is the last day of January? It's kind of surreal to me. Okay, let Daddy go over here to the thing. I'm kind of surprised my husband has not called yet to say he's on his way home from work. Ah! Maybe he has and I missed it. Let's check and see. Hold on a second. That little noise he makes. Oh, he did. Oh, my video is all ready too, my drama video. Well, Sister Susan, I guess that means that I am going to, what is it? You want to come up here and say hello to everybody? Again? You need to say hello to everybody again? He said, I'm the most famous person in the world. They like when you say hi. He said, they do? Yeah. Caroline found this dog, this rescue that she wanted to adopt that was like a year old. And, but like her husband was like, Caroline. And so then finally he was like, if you want to, you can. And this little dog was so sweet. And it was like golden colored, and it was like this Chihuahua mix, but it kind of looked scruffy a little bit like Boo Radley. And I said, Caroline, if you don't want him, we'll surely, and don't call me Shirley, bring him home and Boo Radley can have him as a best friend. But I still worry about, Caroline's like, I think Boo Radley would do good with another friend. Part of me worries that he would just stay in his house all day long and he would never interact with us anymore, and he'd think we didn't love him because we love the other dog more. And we don't want that to be the case, because you're our #1 best boy in the entire world. We love you so much. Yeah. Are you ready for your dad to be home? You want to see your daddy? Where's your daddy? All right, you guys, I'm going to get off here now. So thank you for hanging out tonight and just having a good, fun talk. And yeah. Boo Radley enjoyed it too, and if nobody else is, oh, I didn't say that. I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Monday, and I can't believe we're down to one day left of January, and I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Monday and a fantastic beginning to your week. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And remember these 3 very important things. 1, you can start your day over whenever you want, or your week if you need to. If you need to start your week over, you can. 2, practice random acts of kindness, but shh. Tell him, Boo. Oh, look, he put his little paw on mine. Shh, don't tell anyone. And 3, most importantly, reach out to somebody and tell them how much they mean to you. Boo, do you know how much you mean to me? I love you so much. You might just be changing their day, putting a smile on their face, making them happy, and really cheering them up. And also be kinder to one another, love one another a little bit more, and be kinder and love yourselves a little bit more. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow for the last day of January. Bye. Love ya. Love ya.